My name is Nate Chai. We're at the Premier Hotel in Midrand, Johannesburg. I have the absolute pleasure of being with Rob Aalders, amateur comedian and
European value broker.
What does that mean?
That means I teach people, and I do it myself, how to bring value and abundance to business and to your personal life.
Okay, that sounds amazing. What's your process?
Process is really easy. It's a creative process whereby you look at improving daily things, improving structures, improving mindsets. And usually value brokering doesn't entail a big investment. It's something that you can do by yourself. For example, I used to work for this fourth largest internet retailing company. And our buyers were so successful in getting real good deals for products that these buyers literally threw everything in a box and sent it to us. It made our receiving goods department stagnate a lot because we had to sort out all the things and check if the items were right and stuff like that. So I decided to have an event, and it was a compulsory event for all our suppliers. And they would come to the event, and we would explain to them that we had a new standard system for receiving goods. They didn't really like it because it entailed costly changes to the way that they...
Wait, sorry. We go back. How did you get all these suppliers to come to an event? I know you say it's compulsory, but they must have thought...
Compulsory meant that if they weren't at the event, they weren't a supplier anymore.
Okay.
We had a choice of many different suppliers. As a company strategy, you never rely on one supplier for one product. You try and find many more. I did the same thing.
Yeah.
So if a supplier wouldn't want to come, I'd say, okay, that's the end of the relationship because we need to have this in order to help our customers.
So you bullied all these suppliers to coming to your event, to rearrange the terms of the contract.
That's correct.
How did that go?
How would you feel if you were invited for a compulsory event and you would have to make costly changes and you had to be there and you didn't want to be there? How would you feel?
I mean, is the Heineken guy there?
No, he's not there. That's for sure. Otherwise, it would be a totally different atmosphere. But that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, pretty
an
horrible.
atmosphere.
Yeah.
Horrible atmosphere. We were really strict in that, and we explained exactly what it entailed. Of course, we were open to feedback, but our problem was our receiving goods department was stagnating, and an internet retailer needs to receive the goods, have the goods online as fast as possible in order to have them sold. So if they didn't understand our way of thinking, that's too bad for them. But the atmosphere, you're right, wasn't a good atmosphere. And we had heated discussions with several suppliers, and eventually the event was over, and all the sales representatives said, well, to our suppliers, have a nice trip home. And as a European value broker, even working for another company, I thought how to change this bad atmosphere and this bad image we had with something really simple. We had a car park outside of the warehouse, and I had all the cars washed and polished. And can you imagine when these suppliers got out and they saw their cars were washed and polished? All the suffering they had during the day was forgotten. And can you imagine such a supplier going back to the company where he works, and his colleagues ask him, well, how was your day? And the last impression should have been the most important one. They would have said, they're really serious about the way we should be delivering the goods, but these guys are really cool. They washed and polished my car. I can see these people as well as sitting at home, dinner with their family, and the wife and the kids asking their father, well, how was your day? And the father would be saying, look, I went to this event today, and you know what they did at the end? It was really amazing. And so I got a lot of publicity for that, a lot of feedback, and it was really simple.
So this whole idea that you kind of have built your life on of providing real value, that doesn't just extend to these big events like where you surprise wash and polish someone's cars. That also works down on a micro level, right?
It does. It's a mindset, and you have to once again be really creative in that way. Even in a sales meeting, or when you're selling a product or you're promoting something, don't think of everything as a transaction. You're dealing with a breathing, living, emotional human being. Get away from that transaction part and get into the transformational part. And that is real value brokering, actually. Because now you're thinking of not the bills you will have to pay or the vacation you're taking or how you're going to make your margin or stuff like that. You're thinking about the person you're talking to. You're thinking, how can I enhance their way of thinking? How can I provide real value?
Well, but what's the difference between transactional and transformational?
Transactional is obvious. I deliver something and you pay for it. That's the end. Transformational is that you understand that your product can change somebody's life. An example of that would be the products that are made and delivered by Apple. The iPod was not a device to listen to music. The iPod was made for buying iTunes products.
Okay.
And what did that do? It worked both ways. It worked for the person, the consumer, because the consumer knew he had a product, but he also had the content to that product. For the people that are in the music industry, they knew that if they had their product on iTunes, they would be paid for what they made. They wouldn't be able, it's not possible to copy it. And that's what I mean by not merely transactional, but transformational for all parties involved.
How does this whole transformational philosophy work in your non-business life?
In my non-business life, I meet a lot of people every day. And I have what I call the 3-second rule. It means you have 3 seconds, when you meet somebody, you have 3 seconds to change their state into a more positive way. You meet somebody, and even if it's a smile, even if it's a wink of your eye, the person feels happier about himself. And you've changed the world in a small way. But can you imagine if everybody would do this?
Yeah.
That would be real value.
So you got a quick smile, a wink of the eye. What else you got? What's in the Rob 3-second rule last one?
There's so many ways.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, for sure. You know, like there's people that always do what they should do, and nobody sees that. Like the midgets that arrange everything.
The midgets that arrange?
Yeah, well, they're literally small people. They do very important work, and you don't see them. But if they don't do it, something isn't right. Now,
You mean small people in terms of like responsibility?
yeah, but they do really important things. And just recognizing what they do. Like it's a waiter that brings you a cup of coffee. Look at him, thank him, you know, and say, well, I really appreciate what you're doing. It's a small gesture for a small thing, but it makes your life better. So why can't you make somebody else's life better?
That's a really nice philosophy to have in your life. I mean, I think that changes your mindset as well about how you approach different situations.
Yes.
Because you're always looking to improve someone else's life.
Yes.
Right? Now, what I really like about you is I'm trying to phrase this in a nice way.
No, phrase it as it is.
You have a very keen bullshit detector
Yes.
And your bullshit alarm is quite a loud one.
Right.
When we were eating breakfast, you had a story about you were working for a logistics company, I believe.
Right.
And you were having all these meetings, and you decided that you didn't want to have these meetings anymore. Can you relay that story to our viewers, please?
Yeah. I got sick and tired of these long meetings and opening the agendas and things like that. And I thought, this is not right. Somehow there's something which isn't right in this whole situation. From that moment, I decided a meeting should give you energy. It shouldn't drain you of your energy.
You say it one more time?
A meeting should give you energy.
Yeah.
A meeting should not drain you of your energy. So if you're in a long meeting and you're making agreements and things like that, there should be a positive energy about that. There should be a vibrant something there. And then meetings are a lot of fun, but they're the result is really lasting and good. So now at that company, I literally walked into a meeting, and if the person leading the meeting would open their agenda and say, okay, let's have a look at the notes of last week, I'd say, gentlemen, this is nothing for me. I'm off. And I'd explain. I said, this meeting is draining me, and I need energy. And if it doesn't give me energy, I'm gone. So that's the whole story about that situation.
What are some practical things that our businesses can do to create that energy in meetings?
The first thing is avoid the small talk. Small talk is at the coffee machine. Second thing is be really clear and concise about what you want to do in the meeting. Don't go to the result of the meeting, because then you're leading everybody in a certain way. The other thing that's really important about a meeting is be open and honest about what you expect from people. What kind of feedback? An example of that is if you have like a brainstorming meeting, you have to tell everybody that they cannot own their suggestion. Their suggestion is the basis of somebody else improving it. You know when you're in the meeting sometimes and somebody suggests something and they're like, this is my suggestion and I don't want you to change it? Actually, you should say, look, you guys, whoever has an idea, the other people will tweak it, improve it, and everybody has a positive contribution in that.
Ton of great stuff from you. Is there a way of our viewers getting in contact with you?
Yes. You can always contact me via my website, www.europeanvaluebroker.com, or send me an email, info@europeanvaluebroker.com.
All right, thanks so much, Rob.
Thank you. Cool.